Great. Mateo, you are up.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Again, yes.
Awesome. So I'll share my screen. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, class. Today I'm going to present my class task, which is the lighting table upgrades. The lighting table was initially made by Conrad and I. So this class task was basically just basically some upgrades for it. So what is the lighting table? I'm not really sure if you all know it, know about this tool. It's a spreadsheet that has a set of tools for lighting assessment related tasks, for lighting related assessment recommendations. The lighting table is located on Box, and this is the location. It's in all files, the IAC, reference files, internal resources, and then there that is. And there's also a folder that's named sources on that same table, on that same folder, that lists some good resources, PDF resources about lighting stuff as well. So the lighting table is made, as I said before, by a set of tools. It has a lot of tabs. First, you have instructions and index, replacement savings tool, replacement implementation tool, the lamping savings tool, lighting audit instructions, and finally the lighting audit. So first, I'm gonna just quickly summarize the previous upgrades, So we have the index, which is basically a database Conrad and I developed. It has different lamps, different fixtures. Every row is a fixture with a number of lamps. So that's gonna give you a lamp wattage, a fixture wattage, and we also looked for the best possible replacement for that specific fixture. The number of lamps for that replacement, lamp wattage, fixture wattage, and then there is a wattage change, which is basically the difference in wattage between the previous fixture and the new fixture. Also, we have the sources for that replacement description. And well, the index is basically the heart of this lighting tool or lighting table, but you guys can also try to add any information you might think would be useful. It's currently locked, but that's only to avoid any mistakes while using the table. If you have anything to add, you can just reach to me or Conrad and unlock it and then make the changes. And also always include the sources. That's very important. So after you have your information on the database and you know it's on the database, you have to make sure you can use the replacement savings tool. Basically, basically in here you just add the operational hours, the demand rate, the energy rate. That's in there as the unit price, demand price. And so what this will do is you also copy the information from the index, and then you get this tool will give your annual savings from that replacement. So once you find your annual savings, then you can move on to the replacement implementation tool. So this was already developed by Conrad and me, but we added an incentives rate part that basically you include the incentives you get, and this will automatically limit the maximum incentives to 70% of the project implementation cost and limit it so that you get a minimum of a 1-year payback. So the steps are quite simple. You're gonna input the source price. So in this case, let me just quickly open the spreadsheet to show you. Can you guys see the spreadsheet? Okay. So in here, you basically, after you fill in the replacement savings, this will automatically put in the whatever equipment you put in there, like you put in the replacement savings tab, it's going to put it in here in the material cost calculator. And the only thing you need to do is put in the source price. To get the source price, you need to click in the link here, and then you have to look for the trusted distributor from Rocky Mountain Power, and then you're going to get the source price from them, because that price always changes throughout the year. It's not really constant, so you need to look for it for that specific fixture. So as I said before, you input these values, input the incentives rate, and it's going to do all the math for you. You can also input the labor cost, labor rate, and it's going to show you this nice graph. As you can see, this is automatically making the payback to be 1 year. Yeah, I think it's really useful to have this info. Okay, so moving on, we have the lamping savings tool. This is a new tool Conrad and I developed. This was developed with Jesse as well. He helped us out. So basically, this is this table. In this table, you compare the current foot candles of a working surface at a company with the desired foot candle. So we all know sometimes companies don't use a lot more lights than what they need. So by reducing this to the minimum amount or whatever is required by law, you can really have a lot of savings. So in this case, as you guys can see at the bottom, the current foot candles is 60 in this example. If you have a desired foot candle of 30, which is, let's say the required amount, you would have a delamping ratio of 0.5, which is basically 50% less watts in that room. So with that info, you can have the annual savings summary. And in this case, it's quite a good amount. So in this case, the only implementation cost you would have to consider would just be the lamping part, which is labor hours. We haven't included that part, but it's quite simple. Just the labor rate times the hours, and you just find the payback time with that. Shouldn't be too high. And then finally, the last thing I added was the lighting audit. So this table here was provided by Bill Leach, a sustainability project coordinator from the University of Utah. This was obtained while conducting the University of Utah water treatment, the water distribution assessment. So this table was used because Rocky Mountain Power required us to fill it to be able to get incentives for our lighting ARs. And after using it, I realized how useful it actually was. Having all of that information in one table makes it really easy to figure out possible ARs. So I included a simplified version of this table in the lighting table tool. It's a new tab. That's a lighting audit tab. And I also included a set of instructions on how to fill it efficiently. So there's a set of instructions for the building. If the building has any lighting issues that you might want to write in there, the specific room, space use, the room area, and so on. I think it's important to clarify that for a room area, you guys can use a sensor, or you can just measure the area, whatever you want to use for that. But I think it's really useful to use Google Earth, and then you can just find a measurement of the building, and then you can use software. Queen recommended me a good software, which is known as Fiji. So this software basically finds the pixel area, and you can compare that with the dimensions you get from Google Earth, and you can find the room area with that if you have the plans, if you have the lighting plans for that specific building. So yeah, once you fill this information, basically you can really figure out a lot of really good ARs. If we go back to the spreadsheet, this would be the lighting instructions. Those are on the right. And also I included at the bottom left, there is some instructions on how to use a light meter device. This is for a model the X-Tech model 407026. It's not necessarily the one you're going to be using, but I think it's useful to have this here, just if the light meter you're going to be using it's similar to this. But yeah, and then I included the lighting audit simplified version for you guys to use during your ARs or during your assessments, the site visit. So you can just print this out and then fill whatever you can. It's not, you don't really need to fill everything, but the most of information you can get, the better when determining ARs. And yeah, if you guys can fill in this Google form, it would be really useful. It's basically asking you if you think the lighting table is a really useful tool or not, and also any comments you might have. Thank you.
Anybody have questions for Mateo?
Hey, Mateo.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be able to put that Google form in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
Cool, thanks. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Mateo, that was really nice.
Thank you, Dr. Powell.
Thank you, Mateo. I used this tool. It was really, really useful. I really liked it. Everything was easy. The only thing that I noticed is that when you have like more than 10 types of like lamp, when you have to like apply it to, when you add like insert more like lamp type, sometimes you may make a mistake and your calculation may get like messed up. If you increase that like type of like lamps to, let's say, for example, 20, it might be easier and we may have less like human error in between in this process.
Okay, I see. So right now, you have a type and then you have the amount of fixtures for that type in there. But yeah, I think we could maybe add more, a bigger list here.
Yeah, that would be very useful.
Yeah.
Like I personally, I made a mistake like at one point that I didn't notice it. I didn't apply the calculation to one part of the the calculations, and I made a mistake. I didn't notice it till the end.
Thank you. That's great feedback. We can definitely add more, a bigger list there for you guys to fill. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. I was hoping to get somebody's feedback on somebody who'd used it already. So thanks, Tofik. Yeah, it looks like Mateo just put that in the chat. So follow that if you can and fill that out for him. Does anybody else have any questions for Mateo? All right. Well, I think Julie got held up, so she's not back yet, but I think we will end 10 minutes early if nobody has anything else. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody who presented today.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.